Alright, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new, fresh install of FSDBeta 11.3.6. Let's go. My new normal morning commute. First drive. I'm not expecting this to be really any better, honestly, because the point releases generally aren't huge functionality improvements, at least for me. But we'll see. Please surprise me. First thing. Oh my. Oh, there it is. Dang it. Thought it was going to go right through. Well, there's one intervention for a confusing action. I had such hope. Yep, there's another one. So we're not going to get out of the neighborhood without stopping at both the cul-de-sacs. So still nothing there. We are under lovely weather this morning here in Ohio. It is currently, as you may be able to read it on the screen, it's currently 63 beautiful degrees out there at 7:20 in the morning here in Northeast Ohio. Just checking on my autopilot settings, making sure we're assertive. We are. Kill that, because we won't be listening to anything on the stereo this morning. I do have to say, it gives a lot of room for the car in front of you. Alright, we're clear. Get it. Alright, off we go. The drive proper can begin now. I was hoping it would get at least one of those cul-de-sacs right. That would have been nice. It is the morning of hurry up and wait. I guess we're not going to really hit this light. We never came to a stop. That's good. That was very smooth. Even with, I think, 3.4, it would kind of, it wasn't bad, it would kind of stop way back and slow down a little more, but that was a nice smooth pull through there. That was good. Alright, we're going to get the arrow on this one. So nothing to really test here, honestly. Okay, so that's weird. We're stopped. Alright, so this is going to be a confuse. I don't understand why we stopped so far back. Like, I get it that we're giving the car in front of us room, but that would have pissed someone off behind me if I had anyone behind me at that point. So that's 3 confusing actions so far. get to. I feel like in the past the car would have slowed for that Jeep well back, and there it did not even slow because it didn't actually need to. The Jeep got up to speed and we were all good, so that was nice. Yeah, these are all things that this is kind of my stream of consciousness. I haven't been taking like detailed notes or anything of how it's been performing. This is all based on my highly calibrated buttometer. That's better. I feel like we could be a little closer, but that's not bad. Usually when I stop behind a vehicle, I stop where I can see the bottom of the tires and a little bit of pavement, because I feel like if I'm any further back, I'm kind of being a jerk to the people behind me because we're pushing everybody back, and especially if we're in an area where like you couldn't have too many, like if I'm taking up more space than I should, we can't fit as many cars in it as we should be able to, that type of thing. I saw in my stats for Tesla app yesterday, I need to pull some air out of these tires as the weather's getting better and the pressure is increasing. So that's something I'm gonna have to get at here. I'm about 4 pounds too high on all 4 tires. Alright, so far a peaceful, non-eventful drive. Let's hope it continues that way. It's interesting because we kind of don't, like when I was doing this first reaction drive when I first got 11, yeah, I obviously was narrating all the places that I normally have problems with. That's not really most of my problem spaces are gone. The only real issues that I have now, that was good. It determined that car was not a threat to me and did not slow at all, which has happened in the past, I think even on 11.3.4. So yeah, I was starting to say this is a stream of consciousness, and I don't really have the quote-unquote problem areas that I used to with the 10 series. Really the problems now are lane selection issues, and on the highway properly using the turn signal when you need to merge. I don't think yet I've had the car properly, 2 things on the highway actually. It did not, I should say, I don't know what we'll have with this one, but it did not accelerate properly on the on-ramp to get up to speed to match the highway, and it never signals to get onto the highway. It'll signal to get off just fine, but when I'm getting on, it does not have the signal on. And that stings because every time I take a drive that includes the highway, I'm incurring a 10-point penalty because it's committing an illegal act by not signaling when I'm merging onto the highway, which is weird. It signals to change lanes on the highway just fine. Why does it not signal to get on the highway? And the other thing that it does getting on the highway is it rides a lot around here we have on-ramps that end, so it just rides that on-ramp all the way to the end and then doesn't signal and moves into the flow of traffic. Like I said on Twitter last night, we are getting just so close now to where, like, even this version, if it's the right drive, it probably passes my wife test. As anyone that's followed me for any length of time knows, my wife will not ride in this car if I turn on full self-driving. It's just not something she wants to do. She doesn't find it enjoyable, because the car is just, in the past has been just too unpredictable. And I'm not saying that it's not still somewhat unpredictable, because it absolutely is. It's just less unpredictable, which is nice. You can definitely see the progress, like the absolute progress. Well, I did say last night that I gave 11.3.4 a C+ as my final grade, because I didn't know I'd be getting 11.3.6 today. So that definitely was my final grade for 11.3.4 for the time that I had it. A C+, as a letter grade is not a great letter grade, but it's average. And that's what I feel. If you had to compare it to a human driver, it was not as good as an average human driver. But for the kind of scale that we're on right now, with comparing it to itself, its own progress, absolutely a C+. Because before, I think 1069.25.2, I'd have to give that a D at best. It was just littered with errors, and just generally, like, I didn't really, I did use it most of the time, but whenever there was a situation where I knew the car would have to make a decision about something, I just didn't let it. Absolutely did not let it, because I didn't trust it to. And I've found more with this one that when I've got with these go, no-go type decisions, I've been letting the car make the decision, and it's been doing well. It's been far from perfect. I think I know on 11.3.4 at least once, maybe twice, I can't remember for sure, I did have to hammer the brakes to avoid an accident because it was going to get the dumb. My watch went off with Tesla Scope congratulating me on picking up the update this morning. Thank you, Tesla Scope. If you all don't know what Tesla Scope is, that is a software service that monitors your Tesla, monitors your drives. It's awesome. You should go check out teslascope.com. Absolutely. All right, so far we've got 3 confusing actions on this drive. I have intervened because of those actions. We have not, well, not all the actions, but I have intervened, so this is not a zero intervention drive, but we are still on a 0 disengagement drive, which is good. So hopefully we can finish that all the way out and get the 2 bonus points on my safety score for not having to disengage. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. The car is doing 32 through here. At least it didn't brake to do 32. I feel like the early morning sun might be playing with the camera, because I have in that area, I've had issues where when it was doing 35, it would brake. The interesting thing there was it never made it to 35, so it wasn't a confusing action, because could it just been me hanging out 3 miles an hour under the speed limit if I was the one in control. So while the person behind me might be annoyed, it's not confusing, so no penalties there. And in case you're wondering, my criteria on a confusing action is any action that the car makes that a human behind me or around me would not be expecting and could potentially cause an accident. So if the car just hits the brakes for no reason, that could absolutely cause an accident if someone was behind me. So anytime I get a hard phantom brake, I absolutely deduct the car for it. It's funny, when I was coming home last night on my last 11.3.4 drive, the car did something that it has not typically done for me. It was a 2-lane road with a turning lane in the middle, and it made the left into the turning lane, which is something that during busy traffic a human might do. And I had never really had it do that before and not just continue to use the turning lane as a travel lane, which is not good. But it was actually going to get out of the lane, and I actually took over as it was getting out of the lane. I saw the change on the visualization there, and crap. So whenever I make a mistake like that, I don't dock the car points for it, because that was actually a very human-like thing to do. Go get the turn lane, kind of hang out a little bit in the lane, and then get into the flow, the travel lane as soon as you're able. Another good job there. There was a truck there that was slowly moving toward the drive path, but never was in any danger of threatening the drive path, and the car just drove right on by. This is going to be interesting because I got traffic next to me. I am in the wrong lane here, and I'm going to have to get over. So I don't expect that this is going to end well. We'll see. Luckily the car accelerated well, and come on, get over. I mean, technically we're good here because it did make it over and it did its proper thing, but man, it really needs to. So I'm not going to dock that for a confusing or wrong action there, because it didn't stay, you know, I could have inadvertently tapped that. But yeah, that spot back there, it just hangs out to the last possible second and then gets over. So lane selection not great there. Like literally at the less than 0.1 miles until needing to be over and making that move, and it never is any better. It should honestly be just in that left lane the whole time. And I have assertive on, and I don't have minimal lane changes on, so there's no reason it shouldn't take that left lane. Shout out to my daughter in the back seat being nice and silent for this whole drive. She's very tired though, so, and a little bit cranky this morning. Alright, so we should be getting right over to the right. There we go. And now here's the last thing that is a weirdness. Oh, we're gonna get this lane. The last thing that this car does that is, yeah, just kind of weird. This right turn up here, I intervene a lot up here because it just gets the dumb trying to make this right for some reason. I don't know if it's just because of the way that the curb is, and it's like a really hard right angle or what, but making this turn, like it's, and this is a regression too, because before it would just kind of take its half out of the middle when making this turn, but a few times with 11.3.4, it has had its ass sticking out in this lane. So let's see what we get today. And slow but good. Okay, that was good. That was very good. I will take that. It kept this half of the lane, which is something it doesn't do often if there's not a car sitting there. And it was slow, but it did not come to a complete stop, which is something that it tends to do trying to make that turn. So, all right. While this was not a perfect drive by any stretch of the imagination, because we did have the 3 confusing actions. We did get a non-intervention, or sorry, a non-disengagement drive, so 2 bonus points there. And I mean, that was smooth, right, folks? Like, that was pretty darn smooth. Man, I wish it could. I wish they would figure out the cul-de-sacs in my allotment, because the safety score would be, I mean, it would be pretty darn good most days. Except, like, if I just eliminated my allotment as a part of the drive that I scored, I mean, this car I'd be probably scoring, 70s to 100s every day. So, someone's walking behind. I didn't realize someone was behind me, but I saw the visualization there. That's pretty funny. Alright, folks, I hope you enjoyed my first drive impressions on 11.3.6. I appreciate you coming along with me, and hopefully we'll have a return drive here too. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one or not, but we will find out. So, take care, folks, if there's not another video, and I will see you next time.